Hello everyone and welcome back. I hope you're doing well. I hope your Christmas was well. What did you get for Christmas? Was it anything cool? Let me know. I want to know what you got for Christmas. Today I wanted to talk about The Whale, but it's not released in my country or near my local theatre, so I can't see it. With that, and knowing that in January we're going to be in a real dry spell for movies, I thought, what kind of video should I make? And these used to be something that people did, and I don't have a top 10 or a top 7 anticipated movies. These are just movies that I'm anticipating or I would like to talk about my thoughts on what they're going to be like briefly before they come out. So sit back, grab something to eat, something to drink. I don't know how long this is going to be because I like to ramble. The order of these movies is going to be in release order rather than hype or anticipation. It kind of varies all over the place. So the first movie that I'm really excited to see in 2023 is Magic Mike's Last Dance. Off, I'm joking. No, the actual first movie is the third Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Now, is this movie going to be any special? Probably not. It's going to feel like a lot of what we've already had, and I don't think it'll feel much different from the first and second installment. However, the reason I'm putting it on my anticipated list is because Kang is finally going to be making an appearance, and I am interested to see how they're going to handle that, considering he's supposed to be Marvel's next Thanos. My introduction to Kang and getting to know that character was through a little special show called Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes on ABC3. There's some obscure stuff you might resonate with, and I'm just interested to see their approach. Other than that, it is always fun to see Paul Rudd again doing something, so it makes my list. Cocaine Bear! Have you seen the trailer for this? It's exactly what it sounds like. It is a bear that is on a lot of cocaine. That comes out in February as well, and I'm excited as hell to see this movie. Every now and then you just need something stupid. Not everything has to be something dramatic and the scale is off the charts. I need movies like Cocaine Bear in my life. The next movie on my list is Creed 3, which I'm pretty sure is being directed by Michael B. Jordan, so I don't know how that's going to turn out. I know the quality of the franchise has really dropped off and it's not going to be as good as I want it to be. I mean, maybe it could come swinging. It could, pun intended, it could come swinging and surprise us. I hope it does, but I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm putting it on my list because even if it's not a great movie, you know it's going to have a hell of a training montage sequence that's just going to get you pumped up and ready, motivated to just attack life with everything you've got. So looking forward to Creed 3. Next on the list is the new Shazam movie, and I'm very interested to see how this is going to turn out and whether it's been altered at all, because this is going to be the first movie that's the end of the DCEU. Because as of when this video comes out, you can see the date below, James Gunn's announced that he's scrapping everything and he's just going hard reboot. So these remaining films, I'm interested to see if there's any reason to even go and see these, because it's not going to be leading to anything else. I can see how that seems a little narrow-minded, but I don't think that any of these were supposed to be individual masterpieces on their own. They're supposed to be franchise makers. But if there's no franchise that's being made after this, then are these stepping stones even necessary? Are we even going to want to see these? Those movies are already way too far into production to cancel them, and they've got to come out. So I don't know, Shazam being the first, I am interested to see what it's going to be like. Plus, the first one was a lot of fun. Hopefully, there's some more compelling elements, like with its villain, but we'll see when it comes out. John Wick 4. Now, the John Wick franchise, I love the first John Wick. It's still the best one, because it doesn't explain the Continental and the universe, okay? Not knowing left it up to your imagination, but over-explaining it, it's not as cool as you possibly thought it could be. Plus, these movies are getting long. This franchise went from a revenge story and a bit of a mystery about this Continental and organization with excellent stunt work to, we're just gonna do the stunts, and we're just gonna make the best possible stunts that are in modern cinema. No Marvel CGI fight fest, this is for real. And it's Keanu Reeves, I love it, so I've been hanging around on the journey, but that third film was getting long. All the fight sequences in that third film alone were fantastic, but stitched together by the end, you're starting to get a little bit fatigued. And I thought that the third film was the last entry. I thought it was a trilogy, but it ends with a cliffhanger for 4, and I am excited to get back into this world again. If my country lets me. Because we got the first John Wick, but the second John Wick was banned in Australia. We couldn't see it for months and months and months. The way to see it, I want to see it legally, but it was to pirate the thing. Don't worry, I've got it here. Hang on. I've got it, alright, so I paid for it, but still, what a pain in the ass. But excited to see where it's going. I think they're gonna go with a 5th one as well. We'll find out. Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I did see the holiday special. I was going to talk about it, but I've kind of run out of time, and I feel like it would be a little redundant to do it now because Christmas is coming past. Everyone's sick of the holidays talk, okay? They had all of December building up. Christmas. Just for me to talk about a holiday special now. I mean, I can, if you guys still want to hear my thoughts on that, just let me know. But yes, I'm looking forward to Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I'm not sure what more I can really say other than I reckon it's going to be a fun time, and I hope that we're hit with some very emotional beats through the film, and I think we will. Fast X. Just because I want to see what happens. I seen 9 in the theaters, and I didn't review it, and I wish I did. Got bogged down with life, but don't worry, 2023 is the year. I just want to see what happens, because spoilers for Fast and Furious 9, if you give a shit. They went to space. They went to space. Now, it was like a running gag amongst us fans that, oh, they'll do 10 films and they'll eventually get to space. We didn't think they would actually do it. Like, multi-million-dollar project. They made it happen. And I can't say it didn't work, I wanted to see it. But we thought that would be the plan for the very end of this franchise. But they did it in 9, and now we have 10 and 11. Apparently it's going to be like a 2-parter, we'll see how that turns out. But where do you go from that? Are they going to be driving moon buggies on the moon? Doing jumps over craters filled with sharks? I don't know, I wouldn't rule it out. I know this might sound really disrespectful, but Brian comes back as a zombie corpse, like, could happen. I'm down for anything at this point. I'm down for a zombie apocalypse. Like, I don't care anymore, and I think it's gonna be great. Now, for people that are fans of this franchise, I am too. I legit like the first movie, and I even have a soft spot for the second one, which is very romantically gay. Just check out Ben from Canada's video on it. It's great. You'll never see it the same way again, but I'm excited just to see what the hell they're gonna do. Now, moving on to what is probably my most anticipated movie of the year. It will be Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, because that first movie is a banging gem and the best Spider-Man interpretation since the original trilogy. More so Spider-Man 2. And it was just announced and shown the other day that our boy, Spectacular Spider-Man, is in the movie. For the people that don't know, this is the best version of Spider-Man, period. And I will fight you to the death, alright? Get in the cage fight with me and I will beat your ass. Why am I threatening to fight you guys? You could be the most jacked human being on the planet. This is a bad idea. But in terms of a verbal fight, I will take you to the grave with this. But I mean it when I say that this is the best version of Spider-Man, period, and he's back. And I know, don't get too excited, because he could be just a fleeting cameo for 5 or 10 frames. But still, some sort of acknowledgement that this character is back in some way just means everything. I would love a line or two from Josh Keaton. I might talk about that series later in the year if you want to hear about it. Not sure how many diehard Spider-Man fans we got here. But Across the Spider-Verse, not just for that, which is cool, obviously, but it's not gonna be just cameo fest. That's not what's gonna make this movie. I think a lot of it is going to just still be focused on Miles and Gwen and the core characters that we've seen already. I'm also interested to see the villain angle, because I'm pretty sure the Spot is the villain, but all the marketing material is painting it as if Spider-Man 2099 is the villain, but I think he's only gonna be an antagonist like halfway through until you realize the real villain. That may have been created because they've been hopping universes and messing with stuff. And I don't know if anyone's talked to you about the Spot's design in that, but he's like constantly, the black spots on his body is like bleeding ink. You know when they do drawings for like concept art or something and they just start with like a round head? It's almost like a stick figure skeleton before they start drawing the actual body out of maybe just blue pencil or something. You can see those blue pencil lines on him the entire time. He's just this distorted... I'm talking about it too much, but I'm very excited for it. The next movie, The Flash. Now, I really do like The Flash. I love the character. I mean, if you've been here for a while, I covered the entire first season of The Flash, episode by episode. It was one of the biggest painstaking things I've ever done, and I started it and I thought, no, I am seeing it through and finishing it. Now, we just talk about things in complete seasons. But I'm not oblivious. I do know the reality, and that's this is gonna be an absolute disaster. Like, Ezra Miller is off his head, and Superman was in it, but now he won't be in it, and Michael Keaton's Batman's gonna be there, and it's not gonna be the revamp this universe needs. It's gonna kinda come out, but they don't want to market it because what Ezra Miller has done, but they put too much money in it to not release it. It might just go straight to HBO Max. We'll find out. I saw someone tweet the other day that with this new DC universe that's coming, that they should get all the old cast back to be a bizarro, evil version of the Justice League for something. And I thought, I can picture it now. All the original cast there, just watching Ezra Miller starting to bloody method act. That was a joke. It was a joke. Indiana Jones 5. We're getting another one. Harrison Ford is... How old is Harrison Ford? I don't know. I don't have my phone on me. I got sick of it ringing while I was doing these videos, so it's not on me no more. He hates Han Solo and can't stomach any idea or notion of trying to play that character, but he wants to be Indiana Jones still, and I don't understand. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Now, what I have heard from plot leaks and things like that, which I won't give away if you don't want to know nothing about it, but I do want to give you the heads up that if the things that I've heard are true, this is going to be one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I hope I'm wrong. I hope everything that I've read and seen is wrong, but this, I mean, the trailers kind of make it look like there is going to be some element of de-aging and going back in time at certain points. And this is just speculation. I don't know any of this for certain, but from what I've seen, this is going to be a mess. Thank God we always have the original 3 movies, and then they never made any more, ever. They actually misprinted on the box. They put a 4 on there, and I'm not sure why, because there was only 3. Guess that box is obsolete now that we're getting another one. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. Extremely excited to check this out. I watched the promo with Tom Cruise the other day, jumping off the cliff and pulling the parachute. And just the amount of effort and talent that goes into just a single stunt like that. I'm extremely excited to get into this. I only watched all the Mission Impossible films over the last year or two because I'm young, I haven't seen everything, and I am getting to it. I'm getting to it as many movies as I can. There's still a lot I haven't seen. But I watched all them, had a blast. Loved Ghost Protocol and some of the newer ones. I actually liked the second one. Just, I don't know, because it's in Australia and there's Limp Bizkit and The Matrix clearly came out the year before and it was just fun. Hot take, but I'll talk about those at some point. But this new one, very excited to check this out, as well as the second part, which will come out the following year, I think. Oppenheimer. This is Christopher Nolan's new movie. Anything this man touches, I want to see. From movies like Memento, to Inception, to the Dark Knight trilogy, to Interstellar, there's not many that this man has done that I don't really like. And after Dunkirk and Tenet, I'm excited to see whatever the hell this man wants to do. Meg 2, The Trench. I didn't know we were getting another Meg movie. I'm a shark movie guy, and I'm excited because Jason Statham fighting a megalodon was one of the best ideas I'd ever heard. And now we're getting another one. I'll be sure to talk about the Meg sometime before the second one comes out. The Expendables 4, we're getting another entry in that franchise that should not have another entry. We really are in a decade and time period where it's just sequels and reboots and nothing else. Originality is here, but it's not the forefront of movies. So Expendables 4, I haven't seen the Expendables movies since I was real young. I barely remember anything. I just remember every action movie badass in one space, and it was fun. So I'll probably take a look back at those before the 4th one comes out, but hey, another Expendables movies, I'm excited to see it. Saw X. We're getting a 10th Saw movie. After we had Saw 7, the final chapter, we had 8, 9, and now 10. I'm not sure how connected this is all gonna be because 8 was Jigsaw and 9 was Spiral, and they're kinda separate things because they really didn't want to acknowledge the fact that 7 was the final chapter. But they've slapped X on here because saying it's Saw 10 gives it a little bit more, come see this one, it's the 10th entry. More marketability, I suppose. I like the Saw franchise. It's ridiculously fun. Like, I don't find them scary, and I'm not really that affected by gore. I just kind of like how they somehow keep pulling the twist back in and connecting it all the way to the first film somehow. and have it all make sense, but really it's not making any sense. It's just extremely convoluted. I can't keep up with the timeline, but I have fun with it, and I legitimately love the first film. Dune Part 2 is coming out. Excited to see it. If you've seen the first film, we're in for a hell of a ride, and I can't wait. That's coming way later in the year. Wonka, we're getting another Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory reboot of some sort. It's really funny, those other movies. The Charlie and the Chocolate Factory one is about Willy Wonka, and the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory movie is about Charlie. And I think this one's just called Wonka. This is getting complicated. But we're getting another interpretation. I'm not sure why we really need one. I like those movies and I'm interested to see what they're gonna do. Ghostbusters Afterlife 2. I love Ghostbusters. And I even thought Ghostbusters Afterlife was good. But I watched it and I went, cool. But why would I ever want to watch this when I can just watch the first one? Because it's the same premise, the same story, the same villain. I'd rather just watch the first movie, and I will watch this second one, but I don't know. Ghostbusters to me doesn't feel like a franchise that you can keep going and rebooting. It very much feels like the way that Jaws feels, where it's the original cast that makes that movie, not the shark. In Ghostbusters, it's Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd. You can't recreate that. And I think it's a franchise that should really be left alone, unless something phenomenal comes up. But what possible ideas they could have for a sequel, I'm not sure, so I am somewhat interested in seeing it. And the last movie at the end of the list, at the end of the year, is Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. I really enjoyed the first film, so I am interested to get back into this as well. Plus, it'll be the closing of the DC EU completely, I think. Unless there's another hidden movie that I've forgotten about. And with those movies later down the pipeline, there's a little less information we know and a little less I can talk about, but they're still on the list regardless. I do want to see them. And that's the list of movies that I'm looking forward to this year. What are you looking forward to this year? Is there anything that you want to see that I haven't mentioned? There's probably some gems that I've completely forgotten about, because it's hard to find those gems amongst the big Guardians of the Galaxy, Ant-Man, Marvel movies, everything, blockbusters, and that's just kind of a lot of what I talked about. As the year goes, we'll hear and learn about more, and maybe I'll try to do a top 10 list or two at the end of the year, end of next year. I'm getting ahead of myself. What am I doing? Anyways, if there's movies I haven't mentioned that you're looking forward to, let me know down below. I've asked you to let me know a lot of things, so expect full paragraphs. If you haven't already, consider subscribing, because there's a lot of movies we're going to be talking about next year. And dropping a like on this video, it helps me out a lot. Hope you guys are having an excellent holiday wherever you are, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye guys.